There's been a lot of discussion about zone 2 exercise and how effective it is. And there's no question zone 2 exercise is fantastic. But the reality is there are many different zones between 5 and 7 or 3 and 7, depending on how you actually consider them or define them or characterize the different thresholds. But if we consider that, let's say that there's 5. So you're going from low intensity to very, very high intensity type exercise, with zone 1 being very easy exercise. That's something like walking to the intensity where you can carry on a conversation. Zone 2 would be slightly higher than that. The blood is now flowing throughout your entire body. You are breathing a little bit harder. You are working your cardiovascular system. You're working your oxygen transport system, which is amazing for building your endurance, building your mitochondria. It's incredibly effective and really, really good for you. Zone 3 is when we begin to work at an intensity that is approaching what's known as VO2 max, or the maximum amount of oxygen that you can take in. At this point, your blood is pumping everywhere. You're breathing fairly hard. You're having difficulty carrying on a conversation. You're starting to activate your anaerobic system, which is also beneficial for other things. Up into zone 4, we're in that VO2 max aerobic power zone. You're exercising very intensely. Fatigue is building up. You're accumulating hydrogen. You're accumulating potassium. Your ventilation is very high. You're breathing hard enough that you really can't carry on a conversation. You can hear yourself breathing. It's hard enough. Your breathing is hard enough that you couldn't speak to someone who's next to you. And then up into zone 5, which is really intense exercise. You're producing lactic acid. The acids and hydrogens accumulating, and you have a very short window of time that you can do that exercise in. Now, the cool thing about this is that all of those different zones spark adaptation in your body in different ways. So it's not like one is the best. They're just all very, very different. Zone 1 is amazing for building your base health and wellness. Zone 2 is great for building your cardiovascular fitness. Zone 3 is when you can begin to build your capacity to create energy. And zone 4 and 5 are when you begin to build some tolerance to intense activities. And there's also a whole bunch of neurological, nervous system benefits and brain benefits in there as well. So there's no one zone that's the best. They're just all different. They do all different things. They're all beneficial. And if you want to get started with this, of course, start with zone 1 and gradually build yourself up through the different zones. And you mix and match them throughout the course of the day, the week, the month, and the year, so you don't ever get overwhelmed with doing too much of any one of them. Variety is the spice of life, as it were, when it comes to the different zones that you train in.